Today, we'll be discussing Bob's Burgers and the Belcher family pedigree analysis. And specifically, we'll be discussing vision and personality. This is the Belcher family we'll be talking about. This is the outline of the Belcher family pedigree that we'll be using today. We're going to assess 2 different phenotypes. We'll also look at 5 different Mendelian inheritance patterns. The first phenotype that we'll look at is bad vision versus good vision. As depicted in this pedigree, bad vision, capital B, is dominant to lowercase b, good vision. Thus, it can be seen that autosomal dominant Mendelian inheritance is possible. You can also see how X-linked dominant Mendelian inheritance is possible for this phenotypic expression. It is also possible that this inheritance pattern be autosomal recessive, as seen here. However, Y-linked and X-linked recessive patterns of inheritance could not be explanations of this phenotype. Regarding Y-linked, 4 females out of the 5 in the pedigree express the bad vision gene. Thereby, it cannot be Y-linked. The Y-linked traits are only expressed by male offspring and should be present in every generation. In regards to X-linked recessive inheritance patterns, this is contradicted in the first and second generations. In the first generations, the male has the trait on his Y chromosome. Therefore, he would only be able to pass it on to his male offspring. Then why in generation 2 do 2 of his female offsprings have the trait? This is not possible. The X-linked recessive pattern of Mendelian inheritance also does not work in this scenario. Between generation 2 and 3, you can see that generation 3 has an affected offspring. However, in order for this to occur, the mom and the father must both pass on a little b to the daughter. In this case, it is possible for the mom to, but not for the dad. Hey Tina, what do you say we check out something different? I'm an extrovert, how about you?
Well, Gene, good for you. I'm an introvert, and I don't care what you have to say. But I don't know anything about genetics, so we'll turn this one over to Brody.
Alrighty now, let's not argue. There's nothing wrong with being introverted or extroverted. But let's see how this applies to Mendelian inheritance. Let's check X-linked dominant. Let's write their genotypes. Since Al is affected, he must pass his infected X chromosome onto both of his daughters. Therefore, they should both be affected. But Linda is not. Therefore, the X-linked dominant Mendelian inheritance pattern does not work. Now let's look at Y-linked and see if it works. Here you can see that Bob is affected. Therefore, all of his male offspring must have it, but Gene does not. Therefore, Y-linked inheritance pattern does not work. In this case, you can see that autosomal recessive does work. And here, you can see that autosomal dominant works. You can see that X-linked recessive does work in this instance. Here's a summary of the outcomes from the second phenotype we explored.